Hello everybody, what's happening? My name's Neil. Welcome along to Midlife Motors, and today we're going to give the XC40 a service. 6 years old now, this car, so it's out of manufacturer's warranty, it's out of service plan, and I've managed to get a copy of the maintenance schedules, and it shows at year 6 this is a fairly big service. We've got to change all the filters, including the cabin filter, and we've even got to change the spark plugs, which we've already done, and a video will pop out showing how we did that. I think what this video today is going to cover though is the oil change and the filter changes. That'll be enough. I think also I'm going to start with the cabin filter, because before I get the car up on the ramps and it's an awkward angle, that might be the easiest time to do it, when it's on the level, if you like. So let's crack on with that. Like most cars, the cabin filter is behind the glove box. It's a little bit fiddly in this car. It's not the easiest. First thing you've got to do is there's these little hangers here. So if you get down behind them, you can push one out and push the other out. Then the glove box will be, so far there's a damper on the side here, which is what prevents it from banging down when you open and close it. Just pull that towards you and the glove box is hanging down out of the way. The filter is behind this panel here, so to get that off, there's two clips at the bottom there, and this should pop out. There we go. It is a bit of a fiddle, and then it's actually housed in here, I think, so we've somehow got to get this out. I think this might be a two-handed task. Off camera there, I've been messing around. It is these two clips, but I've been trying to push them up. You push them down like so, and then the whole thing lifts up. Fortunately, we still haven't broken anything. Should then be able to grab the filter. Here it comes, out it comes. There we go. It's not that dirty. And then I've got the new one, paying attention to which way the airflow goes. Whoops. So there's an arrow pointing down the way. That's the airflow. We should be able to try and maneuver this one back in. Well, I'm back. This is a tricky process. You seem to have to do a bit at a time, a side at a time, just as you push this filter in. It doesn't seem to want to slot in itself. It's very, very tight, but I think we've got it in now. So we should be able to shut this cover. One click, two clicks, that's good. Now we've got to refit this bit of trim, this sort of panel, which goes in here somewhere. Volvo, you've made this very complicated. That's in. Right, now what's the last bit? Let's put the damper on, and let's clip these two stays in. There we go, 1, 2. We're done. That is so much easier in a Toyota. With the car still on the ground, so it's easy to get to, we're now going to do the air filter. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 T... what were they? 25 T25 Torx. Don't forget this one that's hidden at the back here. Get them undone, and then we can swap the filters over. With them all loose, they won't come out completely because they're a sort of captive bolt, if you like. With them loose, we can simply remove the old air filter, which looks pretty good, Nick. One thing I like to do quickly before I put the new one in is just give it a hoover. There we go, gets rid of any flies, debris, etc. that might be stuck in there, and then we can slot the new one straight in, line it up, screw it back together. Another job off the list. With the car up on the ramps, I've got to take this whole under tray off. There isn't an inspection hatch as such, which you get on a lot of cars. I can see the oil filter is here, but this whole tray has to come off, which is quite a lot of these T30 Torx. So I'll crack on with that and catch it when it's out of the way. Fair play to Volvo, this tray is well screwed on. That's not coming off in a hurry. As well as the T30s that I saw at the front, there were a load of T25 Torxes at the back, and I even needed the trim removal tool for a couple of plastic clips. But now that it's off, I can get to absolutely everything I need. Some of the bolts were some of the fixings were a little bit rusty, so they're having a quick WD-40 oil bath while we do the next phase of the operation, which is going to be to get the sump bolt out. We're right underneath now, and we've located the sump bolt, which is right here. It's a 17mm. The oil filter housing is right here as well, and Millie the dog is just over there. Right, let's see if we can't crack this off. Lefty loosey. Oh crikey. Not torqued up particularly heavy, these bolts. I've got my oil catch can ready, so hopefully things will be all right. Don't want to splash the camera, that's for sure. Here it comes. Here it comes. There we go. No mess. Definitely wanted changing. Had my lunch now, and this has dripped away. It's pretty much stopped, so I'm just going to give it a wipe, and I'm going to put the new, there was a new plug in with the kit, and it also had a washer, so make sure you stick the washer on. So I'm going to refit this, and then I'm going to torque it up with my torque wrench. On this it wants to be 28 pound-foot, so not particularly tight, but enough probably to crush that washer in place. So I'm just going to set my torque wrench and use that whilst we're under here. Once I've done that, then I can move this pan forward and tackle changing the filter. Whilst we're under here, I just thought I'd mention I got all this stuff from OP Oils, the filter, the oil, everything like that from OP Oils. Came to, I think it was £100 delivered. The Castrol edge is what Volvo recommends, 0W20 on this car. Let's see if I can torque this up whilst we're under here. There we go, just going gently. That's clicked off nicely. I can move this forward, tackle this now. I have been stalling having a long lunch because I've been waiting for the Amazon man to arrive, because in order to get this oil filter housing off we need a tool. And it's literally just come. It's a 16 flue 86mm socket, is that the right word for it? Anyway, it looks like this, and it will go over the casing that houses the filter, like so, and we'll get a ratchet on it and undo it. Some oil will come out, so we'll just be careful. Now that is, let's crack on because it's starting to get dark and I want to get finished. I've got a 20mm socket on the nut that's welded onto the end of this. It's fitting and it's coming off. Got my oil catch can ready because there will be probably half a litre or so of oil in this filter. So I'm getting ready for it to come out. Here it comes. There is a way to bleed these, but to be honest, I never bother doing it. There we go. There's the oil filter that we've got to replace. So while it drips away for a minute there, let's just have a look at what we've got. So this was the tool that arrived. I was in a rush to get it off, but it came off okay. And by flutes, it's these sort of slotted bits that slot in there, and you do and undo like that. It got a little bit tight as I was taking it off, but fortunately I've got a rubber mallet, so a little tap on the mallet and it came off okay. The new filter is going to slot in there, but before we do that, there's a little rubber here, and in with the kit we've got a rubber to replace, so we can just get the screwdriver under here, pop this rubber off, replace it with the new one. Remember where it is, it's not at the bottom there, it's the next rung up. We'll do that and then we can start cleaning it and putting it all back together. But that is the tool that you will need. That cost me £12.50 and I nearly forgot. Here goes then, we can put this back in place. The new rubber is on around its slot there. In fact, I've got a little bit of oil just off camera here. I'll stick a bit on my end of my finger and I'll just run it around that ring to help it seat nicely. You'll notice the filter's in. When you put it in, give it a push, and you'll hear it click in place and it won't be loose. When this goes in, we torque this back up. Unfortunately, on the bottom of this, it tells us it's 25 Newton meters. So I've got my torque wrench set. So without any further ado, let's see if we can't put this back in place. There we go. I can feel the rubber biting, so it's over to the torque wrench and the fancy tool to do the rest. So we'll stick it on here, see how we go. After this, we're putting engine oil back in, so we're on the home front after this. Still has a few threads to go, so taking our time. Oh, it just went tight there. There we go. Did you hear that? We are tight. Good stuff. I'm not going to put the under tray on yet. I'm going to fill up the oil and just check for leaks, and then we'll put the under tray on and do a final check. But we should be able to get this finished in the daylight if I stop talking and hurry up. Here we go then. We can start filling it up. Got my specially made spout. Now apparently this engine takes 5.6 litres, so I'm going to put this whole 5 litre one in, and then I'll use my 1 litre top-up bottle just to get the final amount. Unfortunately, these Volvos don't have your traditional dipstick. You've got to check it from inside the car. I'll show you that when we're getting to that stage. I've put 5.6 litres in. There were no leaks. The under tray's back on. I've had to rig up a light because although it's 4:30, it's that time of the year. That's the last fixing on the under tray in. Everything else we've got to do now, we do from inside the car, so I'll see you in there. The dark beat me the other night, but today's not got any better really. It's almost snowing. There's two things we still had to do. The first one was we wanted to check the engine oil itself, and they recommend you run the car for about 30 minutes before you do that. I've done that. I've done many miles. Car's on just now. In order to check the engine oil, remember we don't have a dipstick in this car, so I want to flick across to the screen with all the info on it, and it's got an icon here which is car status. I'll press on that, come down on this to the status of the car, press on that, and we can see that the engine oil there is just below the maximum, so we got it spot on. We also want to reset the maintenance trip, so there's a little sequence to this. First of all, put your ignition on. There we go, the screens illuminate. Now we want to hold this button here. This is the cruise control minus button. Put our foot on the brake. Whilst we're doing that, I'm trying to do this one-handed. I'm at a lovely BMW garage here. I'm going to start the car. There we go, it fires up. You can take your foot off the brake now, but keep your finger on that. We're looking for an icon on the bottom of the screen here. It will be orange and it will be illuminated, and it's going to flash. There it is. And before it flashes 4 times, we need to take our finger off this button, which we did. We did it on the second flash. If we come back over to here now, we're still in car status. The service reminder's gone, and if we go down to the service button at the bottom there, we've got 360 days or 18,000 miles to go. So it's completely reset itself, and when you turn the car off, there we go, we've got maintenance reminder reset. Job done. That's us done then. Car serviced for another year. Fair few pennies saved. Maybe I can spend them in this BMW garage. In fact, I'm going to go into Mini next door for a little nosy. Thanks very much for watching this one. Hopefully it's been useful and helpful. If it has, give us a thumbs up. If you want to hit subscribe and see more about this and the other cars, then fantastic stuff. For now though, I'm going to say goodbye, so goodbye.